everybody. Today, Danielle and I, Kira, are going to talk to you about our community action plan and prototype to help the current water crisis in Zimbabwe. In more depth, we are going to be talking about how our plan will help and affect Zimbabweans in Zimbabwe with agriculture, local ecosystems, human health, and water availability. We will also focus on the cost of our plan and the needed resources for it in Zimbabwe. We will also let you know how our plan will work and our next steps in doing this important work. If you have seen our videos to help Zimbabwe, you may have more of an understanding what we are talking about. If you haven't seen our videos, here's a recap. In video 1, we introduced the problem in Zimbabwe and explained possible causes. In video 2, we talked about what our plan was to help Zimbabwe's water crisis. And in video 3, we made a model of our prototype and explained our process to getting there. Let's talk about agriculture in Zimbabwe. 82% of the water used in Zimbabwe is for agriculture, so catching the rainwater that goes into it may be a bit of a problem. The rainwater that flows off of the roofs of houses goes into the water that the plants use for growth, and it may affect how much water landlocked areas get for different types of crops. Though the main problem is sanitation, crop plains near rivers will be okay because the source of water is very close to them.
Not only will our plan give Zimbabweans enough water, but it'll also maybe give them an extra amount, depending on how much it rains. In Zimbabwe, it rains a lot, as do in African countries. And because our plan depends on mostly catching rainwater, Zimbabweans will most likely have enough rainwater to spare on plants and animals in the community. And even if they don't, enough water can still be used between plants and animals and the communities.
Now let's talk about human health in Zimbabwe. If any of you have seen our videos about Zimbabwe, you would know how poverty-torn the country is and how bad the healthcare is. Healthcare in the country is also very expensive, and many Zimbabweans are dying of dehydration because many cannot afford hospitals that provide care for dehydration that is caused by many diseases and symptoms. Some examples of what dehydration causes includes vomiting, diarrhea, burns, and kidney failure. And since they cannot afford to treat these symptoms at a hospital, many people in Zimbabwe suffer from dehydration. Because of this, life expectancy is very low. Although we think that our community action plan prototype will help with this current problem because Zimbabweans will be able to get the moisture that they need from purified rainwater that is collected on the roofs of their houses.
Water availability isn't a big problem at all due to the fact that our prototype catches rainwater. As said before, it rains a lot in Zimbabwe, so water won't be scarce in many areas. In fact, we may have a little too much water, where the average precipitation level per year is around 33 inches, which is why our household prototypes comes with a faucet so Zimbabweans won't get too much water or too little. But if it does come to the point where there isn't enough water, families will be able to share the remaining water that our prototype accumulated.
These are the materials that we need overall for our prototype. As we said in our videos, we are going to be needing PVC pipes, a water faucet, a water storage tank, a water collection bucket, and water purification tablets. Overall, the plan will cost around $750 per household in American dollars, which does not include the cost of construction. Now here are the steps that the water takes to get purified. First, when it rains, there will be a 250-gallon water storage tank that catches the rainwater. This will cost $389. Next, the water drains through PVC pipes, and a 1-inch by 10-foot pipe costs $4 each. So the Zimbabweans can get water whenever they want, and they won't get too much or too little. There will be a water faucet. This will cost approximately $39. Next, when the water faucet is turned, a 10-gallon water bucket will be able to catch the water, which is $59. In the bucket, there will be water purification drops, which is $7 per pack. This is to purify the water because everybody knows you can't drink pure rainwater. Overall, our plan will cost $750 per household.
So, while we need to have the resources for our prototype, we also need to actually get to Zimbabwe. 2 plane tickets from Denver, Colorado to New York City, New York, and New York City, New York to Harare, Zimbabwe will cost around $1,218 per person. Now, we also need a place to stay. So a usual averagely quality hotel is around $60 per night per room. And if we have 6 volunteers, we can also rent an extra room so that it's $120 per night for 2 rooms. And then we need a rental car to actually get to the houses for our prototype. So it's around $114 for 100 kilometers, plus an additional 60 cents per kilometer after that. Next steps.
Our next steps in this community action plan is to not only help the water crisis in Zimbabwe, but to also help the food crisis. Once we install all of our prototypes in most houses in Zimbabwe, we will evaluate them to see what we can improve and then to make them work better. But before we install our prototype into households in Zimbabwe, we will need to make a more detailed model of our prototype so we won't spend a whole bunch of money on something that probably won't work. Overall, these steps will help Zimbabwe in any way, shape, or form, and will be moving into further problems that are occurring in Zimbabwe.
Overall, the current issues and problems in Zimbabwe with their water crisis will hopefully improve because of our prototype. It would be great considering how much work we put into it, and we would also like to continue to help those in need in Zimbabwe, or maybe even other places that need our help as well. Thanks for watching, and we hope you all learned a lot about our prototype and project. Thanks!